Good morning, everybody. Happy Friday. I know we are like all on our way to our places of work or to see customers, clients, all that good stuff if you own your own company and all that good stuff. So I just wanted to get on here this morning and just kind of chat it up a little bit. I was thinking about our gifts and the fact that we get them regardless of the choices that we made. I think about people like Michael Jackson, Whitney Houston, Mozart, Beethoven, Frederick Douglass, Mother Teresa, Gandhi, Malcolm X, Martin Luther King, Jim Rohn, Zig Ziglar, Joyce Myers, Sarah Jakes. I mean, countless people who, T.D. Jakes, Oprah Winfrey, Ellen DeGeneres, just countless humans who do these incredible things, and people are like so amazed by it, like, oh my God, they're doing such and such and thus and so. And it's a gift that they have that they didn't choose. It was a gift they had before they ever entered into their mother's wombs. You know, you got people like Cedric Matthews, who is a gifted engineer musically. My homeboys, Band of Destiny, and you know, just several people who are just freaking crazy gifted. Omotayo Richmond, Sky Keys, just I could go on and on and on. Gracia Rich, my editor, is just bananas gifted in writing. Dr. Yolanda Jerry, I mean, just Martha Cooper Hudson. I mean, like, just, I literally could go on all day. Andrea Blackley, I mean, this chick is creating clothing off the top of her head. It's just bananas, you know, the gifts that humans have, right? Myself included. But you know, the gifts that we are given before we ever enter our mother's womb can be of great value to us if we just accept them and utilize them. You know, I look at myself, and I was raised in a very religious household. I mean, super duper religious. Lots of lawlistic dogma and things like that. And so I grew up in an environment where everything was judged and scrutinized, and I literally despised being attached to the identity of a pastor's child. You know, people still say to me this day, pastors' kids are the worst. And I'm like, that's the dumbest statement ever. Pastors' kids are no different than yours. It's just that people look at us and they judge us, you know, and put us in this stupid box and expect us to be whatever is in their mind, some craziness. You know, it's like politicians' kids or anybody in the public eye. You know, the minute their child does something, it's like the worst thing ever when everybody else's child does it. You know, just craziness. But that's human stuff. So the reason why I brought that up is because I have been gifted to write. I've been writing probably as long as I've been breathing almost. I think I started writing when I was probably like 4, maybe 5. By the time I went to high school, I had anything that had to do with writing, I got straight A's. Anything that dealt with poetry or anything that had to do with writing, I mean, like literally, I just was able to really write prolifically from a child. So I came to Houston. When I got here, a funny thing happened to me, and this is a true story. It's very interesting too. I had this vision one day of this guy. He was very handsome. He was very dark skinned, and he and I were having a conversation, and he just smiled at me, and I smiled at him, and I woke up, right? So the next morning, after I had this dream, I was living in my apartment. It's called Limestone Apartments. They changed the name now, but my apartment was 234. I never forget, right? So I woke up the next morning and there was a knock on the door. Now, even though my hair is natural, a lot of times I wear a do-rag because my hair is real curly, and when I'm sleeping, if I move my head like this, it rubs and my hair already tries to lock up on me. So I wear a do-rag so, I can kind of keep it managed and keep it hydrated because I have color, so it dries my hair out sometimes, right? So I go to the door and it's this little blonde head boy that says, "Miss Koffe, I never seen you look like this, but can you come over here and help me with my mom? She's not feeling good." So I had on a little t-shirt, but it covered my derriere, and I took my little do-rag off. And so I ran upstairs. I ran across the hall to their apartment, and his mother was in the middle of a seizure, you guys. In the middle of a seizure. Her babies were freaking out, and she was seizing like horribly. So I rolled her over so I could make sure that she didn't swallow her tongue. I rolled her over, and I just started praying over her because she seized for a long time. And if you know anything about seizures, the person loses oxygen, in their brain when that happens, right? And so she seized for a long time. I'd already called the ambulance and they were en route. And it was just a horrible scene. Oh my God. And she's young. She probably was in her 20s at that time. Her babies were really young. They probably were like 3 and 4 and 5 because she had like 3 little kids. So anyway, the ambulance gets there and it's this chunky paramedic that comes in, this older white guy. And so he said, "Well, what did you do?" And I told him exactly what I did. And he said, "How did you know to do that?" I said, "Well, I've been exposed to the medical field for many, many years, and it's like a passion of mine. I love medicine." And so he said, "You did an excellent job, man. You probably saved her life." I said, "Yeah." I said, "Really, the hero is her baby. He came and got me. So the real hero is her little boy." And so anyway, he was in there working on her, and then another paramedic came in. And then you could see out of the window that the fire truck had pulled in. And so this tall Caucasian guy came in, really, really tall guy, and he was asking me questions about her history and stuff like that. And so as I was answering the questions, guess who walked through that door, y'all? The same guy that was in the dream I had the night before. Oh my God, freaked me out. I was like, oh my God, he was in my dream last night, right? So if you know anything about paramedics and civil servants, they can't really interact with you on a personal level when they're at work. It's not something that's acceptable, and it's really frowned upon, right? So he looked at me like I looked at him, and he just like smiled, and I was smiling, and it was just it was crazy. So anyway, he was like, "I feel like I know you." I was like, "I feel like I know you too," right? So we're standing there, and the other paramedic was like, "Hey man, we got this lady right here. We got to transport her," and da-da-da-da-da, right? So anyway, we were conversing, and I actually got in the ambulance with her and went to the hospital with her. So we were in the ambulance, and the guy was in the fire truck. So we get to the hospital, West Houston Hospital. It's a hospital on the southwest side. I think that's, southwest side of Houston. We get to the hospital, we get out of the ambulance, they get her and take her back and all that good stuff. So he comes in and he says, now that the coast is clear, is it okay if I call you? I was like, yeah, call me. So I gave him my number, and he gave me his, and so we started talking. Like every day we talked, but we found out we had a lot of commonalities. We had a common history, family history, just a number of things, and we became really, really good friends. And so one day we were talking about something, and I was writing. He was like, "Are you a writer?" And I was like, "Yes." He said, "Well, let me read what you're writing." So I showed it to him, and he was like, "How did you come up with this?" And I said, well, I have this magnificent obsession with this area called Riverstone in Texas. It's in Sugar Land. And I love Sugar Land. I just fell in love with Sugar Land when I got out here. I just love the city. So I started writing little stories every time I would go into Sugar Land. Like, I would stop by these houses and a story would pop in my head, right? So anyway, fast forward. I put that book down because I sent it to a publisher that I knew personally. And he said that if you publish books like this, you'll be ostracized from the church community. And he planted that seed in my heart. And you know, I never published my book. Never published it. I let that book sit for years. And earlier this year, one of my followers, I was talking about the book on one of my segments when I did a live. I was talking about, being the right person to attract the right person. And I was talking about that book. And, she encouraged me so much so that I took that book off the shelf. I sent it to my editor, Gracie Rich. And she said to me, man, you're sitting on something magical, man. She's like, you got to publish this. And so I am pleased to announce that I am publishing my first set in a series of books. It's going to be romantic, love, intense, all that good stuff. It is my gift, and I'm not going to sit on it anymore. This week, I lost 2 people that I love dearly. And I think that was just a reminder for me to leave my mark in the earth, so that when I leave here, the dash will live forever. It will. The dash will live forever. I told y'all that story because that story really amazed me, and it has blessed my life. He and I are still great friends to this day. I truly love my friend, man. He's been a great blessing to my life, and he always encouraged me to write those books, man. And I shared with him the other day that I wrote my book, and he was like, I'm gonna pay you right now for it, and you ain't even finished writing it. Oh my God, bless my socks off, And I just wanted to encourage somebody who is like me, who grew up in an environment where you were judged, criticized, or you didn't have the support that you needed, or you didn't have the faith that you needed in you, and you didn't learn how to believe in yourself till you got older, or maybe you still don't believe in yourself in totality. I want to encourage you today. Don't sit on your gift. Whatever your gift is, it will make room for you, and it'll bring you before great humans. It will. It will make room for you, but you got to use it. Don't worry about being criticized or judged or scrutinized. It is what it is. And it came from the creator of the universe, and the only one that we need to be concerned about satisfying and pleasing is our creator. That's the only one. People gonna always scrutinize you if you do something, if you don't do something, whatever you do, you're gonna get scrutinized. So you may as well go and get it in, honey. Get it on in. And bless the world with your gift. Please bless the world with your gift. My 16-year-old daughter, she designed a book cover. I'm gonna post it today. She's phenomenal, man. She was like, no, this is how you need to design it. So my first book cover was designed by my daughter, Yasmin. I really appreciate her. She's such a gift to me. All 3 of my children are amazing gifts. My son was the genius behind my logos, the stuff that you guys see that I'm getting ready to start putting out in the universe. My son is the genius behind that. My daughter, Maya, is the genius behind me doing these videos. She was the chief editor when she was here in Houston, and she was doing journalism for her school. She was #1 at it, and so she taught me a whole lot of stuff about doing videos, how to basic edit and things like that, clean them up, make them nice and pristine. So my 3 children have been, great additives to my life, and they've taught me so much. I appreciate God blessing my womb and giving me those 3 children. I'm so honored to be their mother. That being said, I wanted to encourage you today to please do not sit on your gift. Please don't do it. Use it. Use it. Use it to the glory of God the Father. And don't worry about people's judgment of you. Like I said, they're going to talk about you anyway. So in my one of my favorite songs of all time, honey, let's give them something to talk about. I love y'all so much, man. Keep me in your thoughts and prayers. This is a rough time for me emotionally, but I'm going to push through it, man. I am a warrior princess for sure. And I got this, and God has got all of us. So anybody else that's facing loss of loved ones and friends and family and stuff, I am praying. I'm agreeing with you guys too, that the Comforter, which is the Holy Spirit, will comfort us at these times to be able to handle life as it shows up, because it's got to show up, man. It's got to show up. It's a part of the process. It's a part of our humanness that we have to deal with. I love you guys. And remember, don't sit on your gift. This is Coach Koffe in the great state of Texas. I am the bridge to help you identify your amazing destiny. Y'all be easy. Enjoy your Friday. Have a beautiful weekend on purpose. If you're in Houston, it is scheduled to drop by 30 degrees, probably close to sundown this evening. So govern yourselves accordingly. Grab you a jacket or something, because it's going to be cool this evening. So you guys be well, be encouraged, and have a fantastic Friday on purpose. I love y'all.